We're here in Tuzla Bay, just near Istanbul, and I'm here to show you what happens when the perfect dream team comes together to build a 35-metre Explorer. We're here looking at the BEE Yacht. This is Art Shipyard's newest creation. Art Shipyard have come from a long history of ship owners, ship builders. They've created and built over 85 commercial ships. They've come together with the vision of Hydrotech, the guys that created the Cantiere delle Marche yacht, Michele Dragoni, the interior designer, also with Equinox, one of Turkey's absolute top interior outfitters, to create what is the perfect 35-metre Explorer. Okay, so we're here on the aft end of the BEE Yacht, and what's really nice is that, unusually for an Explorer yacht, we have a fantastic amount of space. We have an 8.6 metre beam, which gives us a full 40 metres squared of deck space. You've got freestanding furniture, plenty of space aft, and that all comes to the focal point here. This infinity pool can seat easily 6 if not 8 people. Just then going down, we've got the platform and the transformer, so you've got plenty of easy access to the water. Talking about the furniture, this is all freestanding. Now the shipyard kept this in mind as they were putting it on board, knowing that a potential new owner might want to bring their own tastes to the yacht. And so all of this is freestanding. It can be moved, it can be changed. We can adapt totally to a new owner's tastes. So as we head further forwards, we have the access up to the bridge deck aft, which we'll go and see a bit later on. But first, let's start inside. As we come into the main salon, the first thing we notice is how light and airy the whole space is. What the interior designer did was he used a mix of contrasting matte and glossy finishes, really to separate and increase the space throughout the whole area. We've got the contrast between the light wood on the lower half and the matte white further up, and we have a reflection from the windows outside into these rectangular shapes. If you want, of course, here we have the fold-down television, which goes along with the full surround sound audio to make this almost into a small cinema room for when you're on board. The freestanding furniture is completely to a new owner's taste, and we can adjust depending on what a new owner might like. As we come forward, we get a better idea of how the light colours interact with the darker furniture, really giving us the idea of space. And then over here in the dining, both to port and to starboard, we've got the big opening doors, which allow us a nice breeze through if we want it, if we're eating inside. On port side, just over here, we've got access to the crew, so they have immediate access to the table, to the main salon, and to the aft deck, of course. And then on starboard side, we head up towards the master stateroom. So as we come through the main deck lobby, I just want to point out everything that we come past. Downstairs, of course, is the guest accommodation, and to starboard side we've got the main door out into the passageway for side boarding. We've got the stairwell with some nice artwork, dayhead, of course, here on the main deck, and in the centre of the yacht you've got access into the crew so that they have a great flow, which is unusual for a yacht of this size. Now let's go into the master stateroom. Here in the master stateroom, it really echoes all of the design language that we saw in the main salon. You know, the difference between the darker coloured floors, the contrast in panelling up the walls, and then, I mean, look at these windows, how incredible this is, you know, to sit here in the morning, having a coffee or a cup of tea in the comfort and the warmth of your own stateroom, or looking outside to whether it be the snow, whether it be the Mediterranean. Then coming through into the main bathroom, again we have the feeling of space and size. You know, from this wide entrance, we have the Carrara marble, we have the Calcutta Crema marble, which is different to the majority of the other ensuite bathrooms. On port side, we have, of course, the big walk-in shower, and of course on starboard side, the head. As we head out through the back of the master stateroom, of course we have the office space and the nice walk-in wardrobe. So as we come down to the lower deck, we have down here 4 staterooms for a total of 8 guests. Aft here, 2 doubles, and then forward we have 2 twins. Coming into the double staterooms, we see the same design language as we saw throughout the rest of the yacht, with the rectangular shapes on the doors, the leather textures, the big windows again, and this really feels of the same level of luxury as the master stateroom. We have the full height wardrobes here, 2 in each of these double staterooms, giving plenty of storage for the guests. We then have the vanity and television, giving all of the comfort and technology one would expect. In the bathrooms, again, we have the Carrara marble, plenty of space and comfort, big walk-in shower in each of the en-suites. That's not the only accommodation that's on board. We then have accommodation forward for 6 crew. Down here we have 3 of those cabins, and upstairs on the bridge the 4th captain's cabin. We've just had lunch actually with the crew, and I can tell you that even the mess there is incredibly comfortable. On the main deck we have the galley, fully stocked, well equipped, everything that one would expect of a modern day explorer yacht, and then of course the bridge up on the upper deck, and that's where we're heading now. We're now here on the bridge, and before we get into the technical details, which I know all of you want to hear about, I want to tell you a little story about ACERT Shipyard. As I said in the introduction, they have a fantastic history, not just of building, but also of owning ships. Every single one of their commercial vessels has always had this dark green detail. Dark green leather panelling here, on the resting pad for the captain, and also the ceiling. And it's a true nod to their history and their experience. And it's probably the first time I've ever seen it on a super yacht like this. The rest of the panelling everywhere is of course black, making sure that navigation at night is as easy as possible. And furthermore, especially because of the shipyard's experience with commercial ships, the bridge layout up here is very simple, very straightforward, and future-proof. That's the big thing. Also great to notice the visibility is fantastic, and the reversed windows forward make sure that the captain always has great visibility. In addition to that, of course, we have the captain's cabin here on the port side aft, so he has direct access into the bridge as one would expect on a much larger yacht. Now talking technical performance, as I said, she's 35 metres in length, 8.6 metre beam, with a gross tonnage just underneath the 300 GT mark. The range as an explorer yacht is around 4,000 nautical miles at 10 knots and a top speed of 13.5 knots, as she's powered by twin Caterpillar C18 engines, as one would expect of a long range, sturdy ocean-going vessel. She's fully stabilised with CMC fins for zero speed operation. She also has a bow thruster, stern thruster, and as I say, launched just earlier this year, 2025. So of course, all of the equipment is totally state-of-the-art. As part of the build philosophy by the shipyard, of course, they wanted to make something as recent and up-to-date as possible. And not only does she have all of the equipment as one would expect, she was also built to commercial regulations, making sure that if somebody did want to put the BEE Yacht into charter, they could do so immediately. That's it for the technical information. Let's head back through into the guest accommodation aft. So as we move aft on the upper deck, of course we come to the Sky Lounge. We come past the bar, which I'll explain in just a second, but here you really feel the same philosophy as downstairs in the master stateroom. We have similar colours, but different textures. We have the windows which push ever lower, the low furniture, making sure that our views out to the sea are as open and clear as possible. And just here we have the bar. Now on the front of the bar on this side, we have some beautiful artwork by a local artist, which is always really nice to see. We have a full height wine fridge, and of course within the bar we have fridge and sink. And the feeling of quality reflects with a Carrara marble and of course the backlit onyx. Altogether, this gives us a fantastic entertaining space, which you use really day to day, and it gives us the perfect access straight to the upper deck aft. So now we're on the upper deck aft, and you see there's such a nice transition from the Sky Lounge. As you come out, again, you've got the flat threshold, you've got the doors which open really nice and wide, and here immediately we have a table and seating for 10. As one would expect, up here on the upper deck aft, we're in the shade, we're protected, but outside where you still have the breeze and you have the air which passes over the area. Aft, at the moment we've set up 4 nice sun loungers, but again, these are freestanding, so if you wanted to change or do something different, these can easily be moved. And this same space also serves for the tender. You can fit up to a 5.5 metre tender, served by the crane here on the starboard side, which is very cleverly hidden completely out of the way. So when not in use, you have the full deck space entirely. So as we move on from here, just to reorientate ourselves, downstairs we have the main deck aft, upstairs we have the Sundeck, where we'll go in a second. But one point I really do want to mention are the side decks. Now these side decks are huge. They really give you the impression of being on a much, much larger yacht, something 70 to 80 metres. And that's something that the Art Shipyard have done a wonderful job with, giving you really an impression you're on something much larger. Now let's head upstairs. Now up here on the Sundeck, we have the space that's been designed for ultimate relaxation and entertainment. Aft, naturally, you've got this very large relaxing area, again freestanding furniture, and we've got already a predisposition for sun awning poles if that's what you wanted to set up above to give some shade. Forward we have the bar with bar seats, barbecue, sink, fridge and ice maker, and this space really comes alive at night, not just because of the onyx in the bar, but also the detail lighting that we see all the way around. And we also have the dining area up here with seats for 8 to 10 guests. Forward, there's another pilot station, giving the captain his 4th position from where he can drive the vessel. We've now seen the top of the yacht, the Sundeck. Now we'll head all the way back down to the bottom, to the beach platform, where we'll finish off the tour. So now we're back down on the beach deck. As I said when we started the tour, you've got the infinity pool, you've got the transformer with really easy access to the water. And the last thing yet to mention is the Lazarette, which is accessed through these lifting stairs just here. Like the rest of the yacht, that's been left ready to be configured for a new owner, whether that's toy storage, dive store, additional laundry, more fridges, freezers, anything that might make that space personal to a new owner. So I really hope that today I've been able to get across just how unique the BEE Yacht is, between the experience of the shipyard, to the designers, to how she's been put together and how she's ready for a new owner. But of course, the best way to see this for yourself would be to book an inspection. Our contact details are in the link below, and we'd really love to see you on board soon.